Hey everybody, Poppin here with the Season 1 VBL-N review. The Braff curse strikes again. So, if you've been keeping track of the season, I had a perfect season in the regular season, and then immediately lost to the playoffs. So, definitely not unfamiliar territory to me. I've lost in the playoffs in the quarterfinals, Season 2 here, and possibly Season 4 of the VBL next week, so we'll have to see. But yes, so here is my season review. I've wanted to make this for a while now. I made this presentation honestly at this point a couple weeks back after I got knocked out, but I've been so busy I haven't had time to make it, and I have 20 minutes before my meeting starts, so we're going to try to just get through everything. So, what did my final team end up looking like? Well, it's right here. It was led off by Metagross, a great mega pick, even though it was maximum points. Dark Yoshifu, who is, someone else said it earlier, but it's essentially the restricted Pokemon of this format. It's so strong, it breaks through everything. Diancie Volcanion, my mythicals of choice, Superior and Wartortle, my kind of starter reps in the back. Then on the bottom half, which is clearly like a clear lower tier of my team, with one exception. We had a Scavalier, Marowak, my Trick Room boys, Granble for a Intimidator, Dust Noir for another Trick Room Mon, or a setter in addition to Diancie that can't be faked out, Illamise, the one exception on this team who is on the lower half but actually probably should be in the top half, so good, and Furret, who is, I still hold true that Furret is a great Pokemon, but it's just outclassed by Wartortle. But as long as I had Furret, nobody else got to use it, and I was okay with that. So, general overview thoughts of the team. I thought it was pretty flexible. In the initial reviews, I think it was Casey and Braff, they both mentioned my team didn't have much inherent synergy, which is right. I don't have any easy bait combos like Rain and a Swift Swim, or any kind of Sun or maybe Terrain, but I had enough good Mons in general that I could kind of piece things together where I needed to, right? I have weakness policy with Diancie and Metagross, and I also had that when Metagross was Latios in the past. I have Tailwind support for Yoshifu. I have Trick Room stuff. I have just general good stuff support with Wartortle and Superior. I originally had Kangaskhan over Granble, which kind of sucked. I was debating between those two right from the start, and I picked Kangaskhan, and I think I picked wrong, so I had to waste a free move on that. But yeah, it was flexible enough to get the job done, and I think maybe it's not so easy-bake nature could have made it more ambiguous to prep for, so maybe it's a benefit, maybe not, who knows, I liked it. Typically, I tended to run this fast. I only went really hardcore slow twice. Once against Braff, and I won, and then once against Canner, and I lost, and that all comes down to being able to set up Trick Room effectively. I have a pretty great dedicated Trick Room support mon with Wartortle and Furret. Follow me pretty much always gets the Trick Room up, and I mean nothing can really kill Diancie in a hit besides a steal move, but even if they have a fake out plus a steal, double protect on the first turn, follow me to absorb the bullet punch on the second turn, and you're golden. So it was pretty proficient and fast with my Prankster Tailwind from Illamise, who's a great mon who will probably never be D tier again. My Trick Room was pretty good, even though I didn't use it very often. It was just fun to use, honestly. And I was trying to think about what I would categorize it as. And I would say it's probably a bulky offense team. I mean, Metagross is thick. Yoshifu, no, not him. Diancie is really, really bulky. Volcanion, super bulky. Superior is also relatively bulky. Scavalier is bulky. Wartortle is nuts, but it's not offensive. Marowak is an absolute fucking weak link. Not bulky or strong because it dies. Granble was pretty nice. I like that. And Illamise is actually pretty bulky. I was looking around. It turns out they actually buffed its stats between, I think, Gen 6 and 7, so that's why it's bulky now. If it was like the old Illamise, it probably would not have survived the hits it was surviving. And Furret's okay. I liked Furret. It was good enough. Most of my... oh, shit, that was loud. Most of my damage here came from a few mons, Volcanion, Diancie, Gross, and Urshi. Besides them, I really didn't get many kills with the rest of my team, honestly. I think everything else probably did get a kill. I think the only ones who didn't get a kill that I used were Granble and Illamise and Furret. because Granble I only used for 2 weeks. I picked him up so late. Illamise has no attacking prowess at all, and Furret is Furret, so makes sense. And my bulky offensive pieces were kind of just tied together really well with Wartortle and Illamise. They're really great support pieces. They're pretty cheap. Wartortle super bulky, has a million. I love Wartortle so much. I can gush about that thing forever. And Illamise was great, honestly. D tier, could have been a B or a C tier, honestly. So between those main damage dealers up here in the front, and then these support guys right here, and kind of pick one of. It's essentially bring 3 of these 4, 1 of these 2, and then fill in the other 2 with whatever you think you need. And you can kind of see that here with the use stats. I brought Wartortle and Volcanion to every single game. Well, every single set. Not every game of every set, but I brought them every single set. Yoshifu, Metagross, and Diancie I brought 6 out of 8 times. And Metagross, I think I used it every time after I picked it up. Because I think, I picked it up after I played Braff. So, yeah, I had 6 games left after that, and it showed up every single time because it's Mega Metagross, and it's fucking good. Oh, you can't see underneath Escavalier because my stupid face is in the way. Anyways, yeah, Diancie's at 6 and Cavagrus is at 1 because I dropped him. And Illamise is at 5, and everything else is just in the garbage. So going over my mons individually, we have Steamed Hams, Volcanion. Assuming nothing changes in the finals, which it does have the possibility to, he was the kill leader and the best KD ratio in the league. I brought it to 14 games, got a 25-9 KD, which is just incredible for this thing. I was super duper impressed with this mon. I knew going in that it was going to be pretty strong. It's as strong as Heatran, very, very bulky, maybe questionably better typing, definitely better attacking typing. And with its water absorbability, it's super good. It hard counters other fire types. It's just being a fire and a water type in the same mon is so good. Its only weaknesses are the ground, rock, and electric. Super easy to cover that. Slap a Wackenberry on it, or just blast the other water and ground and rock types with Steam Eruption before they can hit you, and you'll be okay. And as you can tell, based on these item charts and move charts, Volcanion did pretty much the same thing every week. It survived hits, and it killed things. I brought Steam Eruption 7 weeks, Protect 6 weeks, and Heat Wave 8 weeks. And then just a smattering of other coverage moves. Solar Beam and Sludge Bomb I bought twice each. Sludge Bomb to deal with other water types and fairies, because this thing has no way to hit other water types besides Solar Beam and Sludge Bomb. I brought Solar Beam against the Rain team, which I would bring. I brought Sunny Day to set up the sun and then hit him with the Solar Beam right afterwards. And I brought Power Herb Solar Beam 1 week, but I don't think I think that was the week that I didn't actually end up getting to play. I can't remember. And then just a smattering of other coverage moves. Will-O-Wisps, Weather Ball, Overheat, Misty Terrain. Oh, that was cool. I liked Misty Terrain. That was against Steve to protect me from any Toxic from Chansey. But I was stupid and I let myself get Toxic anyways, so it didn't really work. Leer was against Carboni. I didn't get to bring that. Just a general good support move. Focus Blast, Body Press, just good fighting coverage. And Volcanion has a couple things it's going to do, but it has that extra 4th move slot where it can just do one of a wide array of tons of different things. And the item diversity I had on it was really, really nice. It could do different things every week, even though it brought 3 of the same moves every single week. Just based on the stat spreads this thing had, it was wild. I have the teams pulled up somewhere else, so I can take a look at that later. But it was doing something different with its stats every single week. And then moving along to my number 2, I have Wartortle, who, as you can see, is a lot less diverse. Has a Violet every week because it's Wartortle. I brought this guy to 13 games. It had a 5 and 7 KD, which is pretty good for considering what this thing's just supposed to do, just support stuff. It was great value. Honestly, this thing could be an A tier. I mean, it gets Fake Out, Yawn, Follow Me. That's really all you need. And then I also tended to run it with Surf, Aqua Jet for a little priority chip. And then the rest of the other stuff was just kind of 1 or 2 offs. Yawn, Protect. You don't really need to protect this thing. It lives everything. Muddy Water to not hurt my teammate. Life Dew, Icy Wind, Haze, all good support moves, and Flip Turn, which I brought, but I think that was in the Carboni game, so I didn't get to use it. Surf was a pretty big standout to me, dealing decent spread damage to both opponents, and being able to pair it with Volcanion to heal my teammate for 25% is so nice. That was like my favorite combo. It's just so effective. I mean, there's not that many things that can survive Volcanion and Wartortle together. I mean, what was just that? Dragon, maybe? Water? Yeah. But I really liked Wartortle. It could do its job so well, stopping the opponent, catching them off guard by either flinching one of their mons or drawing in an attack, and then just being able to soak up so many hits and protect my other Pokemon on the field. It was amazing. I think it's pretty much the perfect utility mon. Like, if somebody had drafted this, I would have drafted Squirtle. It's that good. That line has so many good moves. Unfortunately, it does get Seismic Toss, which I would have loved, but it's not compatible, so I don't know which move it's incompatible with, but it's one of them. But if it had this thing would be guaranteed A tier for sure. Despite always bringing a Violite, I do like it that it frees up space for the rest of my team. It's not like where I really want to have the Citrus Berry on it, but I also want to have that on something else, and it makes it difficult. Or maybe I need a Resist Berry on here and that same Resist Berry somewhere else, but I get that a Violite. I free up some other space on my team, and considering that this was my only NFE, my only possible Violite user, why not bring a Violite every week? Moving on. Oh, he's off the bottom of the screen. Sorry, Yoshifu. Teddy the Yoshifu brought to 11 games, 12-7 KD. Obviously, I'm going to bring this thing and click Wicked Blow every single time. I brought this with Wicked Blow every single time I brought it, I think. Typically, it was Focus Sash because that's what Urshifu does. This thing, even with Follow Me, I cannot protect it from Dazzling Gleam. It will die in one hit, always, pretty much. So, Focus Sash, slap it on, take care of that. Lumberry was there to protect from burns and sleep. Choice Scarf in the quarterfinals was kind of cool. I had it with Snarl, Wicked Blow, and some other stuff, but it sucks because Canner, it's in that weird area where it can get outsped by Crocodile, and it did get outsped by Crocodile, so never actually ended up revealing that it was a Choice Scarf. And Black Glasses 1 week, I don't remember which week that was. Despite being a huge prep target, it still got a lot of kills, because I mean, there's only so much you can do to prepare for this thing. You have your Dazzling Gleam, great, you get a hit off, and it goes down to the Sash, and it survives, and then it kills you. So, definitely a big issue to deal with, and put in a lot more work than I thought it would. He also has a decent range of other coverage moves. We've got Wicked Blow, and then Detect, obviously, Close Combat. Close Combat and Low Kick, I kind of switched off between those two. Given that this is no Dynamax, if the opponent's team, all the things you need to hit with fighting moves are heavy, just run Low Kick. No defense drops needed, because, I mean, special defense drop doesn't matter, but the defense does matter on this guy quite a bit. That's his only saving grace on the physical side, is that it's actually decently high, and if it's at -1, you're done. Snarl Taunt, Iron Head, Drain Punch, Aerial Ace, just kind of general coverage stuff. Not too much to say about Urshifu besides that it is an offensive monster that surprised me with how many kills it got. Moving on to Illamise, a hidden gem in the tier list. I brought it 7 times, got no kills, which is expected, died 5 times, and holy, this is such a value pick. D tier for this thing. I'm glad that this and Volbeat both got drafted. This thing just puts in so much work. I brought Tailwind and Struggle Bug almost every single time with Protect, Encore for another move, and then just, it has so many options for those other slots. I brought Sunny Day and Rain Dance on this thing. String Shot, Seismic Toss, Light Scream Charm, and Aromatherapy. All great picks. I actually ended up running it with Safety Goggles most often. That was just a weird coincidence. It's not like trying to get around Rage Powder or anything. I faced a lot of Sleep Powder teams that I thought I wanted to protect myself from, so hence the goggles. Focus Sash because it's a baby bug. Koba and Charty Berries are obviously Resist Berries. And Illamise actually has enough bulk to survive a pretty strong hit from one of those from any decently powered mon with its appropriate Resist Berry. So honestly, it did so much work, and I really think that it's about as flexible as a prankster mon can get. There's so many moves on here that I could have used that I just didn't have time to. I honestly wish I could bring this thing to more weeks. It did so much work. Hold up. Let me go ahead and turn this down a bit. Diancie. We've got our second mythical. We brought this thing to 6 games, got a 7-5 KD, which is pretty decent. This thing is a beast in Trick Room. I wish I had been able to use it more. And it does pretty well outside of it too. I typically like to run Weakness Policy stuff. I love Weakness Policy. And this thing has enough defenses and a clear body so I can hit it with a Bulldoze, not really pay too much attention to that. It can outspeed decently fast things. I think it's 168 after it's an effective 168 speed stat after a fast Bulldoze onto everything else. So that paired with Metagross was a good combo. Power Herb was sick for that super powerful Meteor Beam against Edge, I think. And the Battery Berry, I don't remember which week that was for. I think that was to survive a Bullet Punch. Couldn't remember who it was from, but yeah, Diancie is really strong. Great typing, great spread moves, good damage just overall. Essentially, like I said there, name of the story with this thing is just boost up and kill things. Pretty much always ran Protect and Diamond Storm, because if you're running Diancie with that Diamond Storm, you're kind of missing the point. We got Earth Power, Dazzling Gleam, Trick Room, and then just another coverage moves in the back. And moving on, we've got Mega Metagross, who always had a hold of Mega Stone. Brought it to 5 games, got a 5 and 3 KD. This is a great Mega pick. I would love to use this thing again. It's threatening physically, super scary, and it's really fast, so it can be a support mon. And look at how many moves I brought on this thing with only 5 games. Zen Headbutt, Stomping Tantrum. Stomping Tantrum's great. It's essentially the same power as Earthquake, but it doesn't get the spread move reduction and doesn't hurt your teammates. Steel Roller, Rock Slide, Protect, Meteor Mash, Icy Wind, Ice Punch, Body Press, and just a bunch of other shit here. And Bulldoze. 1 Bulldoze spelled with 3 L's, 1 Bulldoze spelled with 2 L's, so take your pick there. I mean, what can I say about this thing that you don't already know? It's super threatening, really powerful, and I just really, really like the Body Press Tough Claws interaction. You can boost up your defense, as high as you want, and you still get that 30 or 33% boost from Tough Claws. So cool. And you don't really have to worry about... do you have to worry about burns? Yeah, you do have to worry about burns. Anyways, great mon. Superior, now we're kind of getting to the bottom of the barrel. Brought it 4 times, 1 and 2. I could have used it more, but it has a tiny move pool, and Grass type just sucks. Leaf Storm hits a lot of things for great damage, but it gets resisted by pretty much almost everything. I don't think I've ever seen a team with a net Grass weakness or even a Grass neutrality, so you really have to pick and choose your battles with this thing. And I mean, one time I brought it, and I even forgot to put fucking Contrary on it, so that's Superior. Citrus Berry and Copa Berry just for longevity. Granble, I really liked. I would have been able to use more if I hadn't added it so late. Oh, there's my meeting. Okay, I'm back. 50 minutes later. I don't remember where I left off. But I like Granble. He only came 3 times, but he was a bulky supporter. He's a good Assault Vest mon. He has lots of moves that are, I have in quotations here, attacks. Like Snarl, not really an attack. Super Fang, barely an attack. And he was just really useful. 120 attack. It can sting with a stab. Play rough even with no investment. Oh, you can't even see Granble. He's totally behind my face. But yeah, that's Granble. Moving on to the most creative build awards. I'm gonna give it to 2 of these. Oh my gosh, my fucking phone. Hold up. Okay, back again. These are kind of similar now that I look at them. Can you tell I really like the move Body Press? But these were both of my 2 big body pressers. Metagross, I used this against, I think, Casey. Body Press, Air Defense, Protect, and Meteor Mash. With no investment at all, this Meteor Mash always OHKOs a Grimmsnarl, which was what I was worried about in his team. And then Body Press 2 at KO, Steal after an Iron Defense. And it gets boosted by Tough Claws, and it was still fast enough to outspeed something on his team. And I think it also can OHKO Mega Gyarados and doesn't have to worry about when it Mega Evolves to try to dodge the Intimidate, because it's based on your defense, not your attack, which is super cool. And it also lets you use Mega Metagross's highest stat for good defense and good offense, because Casey's team was also very physically biased for the most part. And then we have Kefagrigus with Life Orb, Body Press, Trick Room, Shadow Ball, Protect. I don't remember what this was EV'd for. This was a very long time ago, but this is against Braff. The Body Press always would OHKO a Mega Lucario if it tried to follow me or something like that. And it did end up OHKOing a Mega Lucario. And it set up Trick Room for Escavalier to blow through the rest of his team. And I just liked how specific these movesets were. And they got the job done, and they worked very well, and they were fun. And I just love using Body Press. Best duo. You know it. You love it. You kind of expected it. It was Volcanion and Wartortle. The 2 I brought every single week and typically ended up pairing together. Wartortle with the great redirection and fake out support. Volcanion with the just solid damage dealing, and both these guys are just really hard to take down. And couple that with the fact that Wartortle can still dish out damage with Surf. And why is my desktop audio not recording at all? Hold up. Okay, just kidding. I'm stupid. But yeah, Wartortle and Volcanion, super cool pairing. Wartortle can deal damage while healing Volcanion. This video is not gonna get fucking done, man. I thought working from home was supposed to give me time to make these fucking videos. I guess not. Anyways, these two, very good. Only issue is they're both weak to electric, which didn't really come up much except for the week 7 game against was it Mono? I think it was either Mono or Cobra. I think it was Cobra when he had his what's that thing called, Toxtricity, and it was just demolishing my team with overdrive and just spamming electric moves, and had throat spray, which was extra scary. But despite that, if there's no electric type to spam electric moves and discharge and overdrive, you can't go wrong with these two. My best post-draft acquisition is definitely Mega Metagross. Not even a question. I should have just picked this thing up right from the start. It's way better than Mega Latios, hands down. Better typing, better moves, better versatility. That's really all I have to say about it. I mean, the fact that I brought it every single week after I picked it up just kind of goes to show how good it is, and that I didn't bring Mega Latios at all when I had it on the team. Metagross is the best. The saddest moment of the entire season for me is right here in the game 3 of the quarterfinals against Canner. Based on this, I think I talked about this in some other video. I feel like I talked about this before, but this game came down to whether or not I could get Trick Room up. In the game where I did get Trick Room up, I think game 1, or no, I think I won game 1 without Trick Room maybe, and then I lost game 2 to Crocodile, and I just needed to get this Trick Room up so badly. I led Wartortle with Diancie, and based on this lead, there was no way he could like hurt Diancie or stop it or taunt it or whatever or kill it, but he could flinch it, and he knew about that. He knew he had to do it. He went for the 30% rock slide flinch. He got it, which was totally game changing. From there, I couldn't live a second round of expanding force and rock slides, and he just decimated me from there. I think he 4-0'd me in this game. One sec, this one's way too fucking loud. Why does anybody make a fucking remix with fucking chiptune in it? It's so just loud. That's better. But yeah, I totally just fell apart after this, and it was so depressing because it was a 30% chance. Another thing that pissed me off in all these remixes is I don't know, they just use the same sounds too much. The little Navi sound from Ocarina of Time, it's so overdone. I'll be a snob somewhere else. Okay. Anyways, yeah, he played very, very well. He had to do what he had to do, and he went for it, and it worked. I just thought it was a great identification of your win condition and playing to your outs. So, again, great game, Canner. Highlight, didn't put anything in here. I just liked my whole season. It was a lot of fun. Can't go wrong with my team. Oh, shit. What did I click on? I don't even know what button I just hit there. MVP, the both of them again. I can't pick between one or two. Volcanion is the absolute fucking goat for offense. Wartortle is the best support mon around. So I can't make up my mind between the two of them. They were just incredible, and I'm so happy to have used them this season, and I hope they continue to go on to do great things in other seasons when people hopefully inevitably draft them. Hopefully I showed off their potential enough to where these two get drafted in every season from here on out. So that is that. Going through my teams again real quick. Is there anything I wanted to say? Not really. Yeah, I guess that's that. Ended up going 7-0 regular season, knocked out round 1 of the quarterfinals, but overall had a great season, and I'm looking forward to the next one, and I will catch you later. And I finally managed to get this fucking video done after literally an hour and a half of trying to get all this stuff to work, setting it up, and then work meetings and all that stuff. So I'm glad I finally got this done. This was like a week and a half in the making. All right, see you in the next one.